Coming up, build a wind-powered bird scarer and win the battle of the backyard.
Find out which colour shades are easiest on the eyes.
How to handle a flat tyre with an emergency bike pump.
And are you feeding an army of microscopic dust mites?
Ew, they look disgusting. I'm sure I'm not feeding any dust mites.
Oh, I think you may have a bit of a surprise coming, Dana. But first, Zach has a problem with pests of another kind, hungry birds.
Lara and I are planting some tomatoes into the veggie patch. Dig a little hole, loosen up the seedling in the pot, and carefully place it in the ground. There, that'll give us lots of tasty tomatoes. As long as those pesky birds don't eat them all.
Those birds sure are cheeky.
There you go, little plant. Time for you to turn out the tomatoes. Oh no! Birds everywhere. They're just waiting to steal my tomatoes. Right, take off, you thieving pirates. Hey, the wind is blowing, I'm just washing around. And the birds don't like the movement at all. That's given me an idea. Why don't we build a wind-powered bird scarer?
Good idea, Zachy boy.
We're off to Carrie Ann's house to get ready for a party. Whoa! That sun is bright, and it's a long walk down to the beach. This white sand is so glary. Time to make some emergency sunglasses. I'll make goggles out of this egg carton. Carrie Ann is cutting out some coloured lenses from that cellophane wrapping paper. Groovy green, man. Those will be cool. Here's the frame for one pair. I'll cut out the eye holes. Hey, mellow yellow. We just press our lenses into the frames, add a little string to keep them in place, and we are good to go. Moon goggle party glasses. Let's see how they cope with the glare on the sand. Bright sunlight is blinding through these yellow lenses. Let's do a swap. On with the groovy green goggles. Hey, with the green lenses, the beach looks much less bright.
The sun's white light is actually made up of a whole spectrum of coloured lights mixed together. Our eyes find green lenses the most comfortable on bright days because green blocks out more of the light spectrum colours that we find hard on our eyes. On a dull day, yellow lenses can improve visibility because they're good at blocking blue light out of the spectrum. Blue light is particularly reflective and scatters as it bounces off objects, causing glare.
Well, our party glasses are ready. Wish we could say the same for our party lunch.
Hey, these glasses are groovy. I think they're going to become the fashion.
We may be waiting a long time for those to come into fashion. Better go see how Zach's windmill's coming along while we wait.
I'm building a bird-scaring windmill to protect my mini farm. The first step is to make the part that turns in the wind. We'll need to cut this balsa wood into strips the same size. Mark 8 pieces the length of a ruler and cut them off. There, 8 fan blades. Next, we cut out a big cardboard circle, like this. Divide it into 8 even slices of pie with a ruler. And make a cut where each line reaches the edge of the circle. Now put the 8 blades into the cuts. Bend them at an angle and hold them in place with tape. Check it out! See how all the blades are at the same angle? We made a hole in the middle to put a wooden rod through. That gets held in place by 2 little pieces of cork. We've made a bamboo tower to hold the blades. It looks like the Eiffel Tower. Well, sort of. What a spin! Hey, nice touch, Lara. A flag for the top. And our windmill is almost ready to go to work.
like Mum and Dad had lots of wine at their party last night. Someone threw all these corks in the pool. What a mess those silly adults made. We could make something with all these corks. Hey Ashley, want to make cork boats and race them across the pool? Take a few corks and feed them onto a wooden skewer. Once you have 3 corks on the skewer, it's time to add a mast. We're using long sewing needles. Poke one into the front cork. Now, instead of wind power, we're making magnet power sails. Stick a paper clip onto the front of the sail, like this. Then attach it to the mast. There! One super sleek ocean racing yacht. One last thing to make. This is a powerful magnet. I'm using modelling clay to attach it to the end of a long wooden rod. One more and we're ready to race. Okay, Ashley, you're not allowed to touch the boat. Yeah, it's working! This is fun! Who needs wind when you have magnet races?
The force that is moving the boats is not coming from the magnets or the wind, but from the girls. Magnetic attraction draws the paperclip towards the rod. However, it's the moving of the rod that is really pulling the boats along.
Well, we know our boats can race, but can they survive a wild storm at sea?
I wouldn't like to be a sailor on board one of those boats in a storm. Oh, I think I'd be sick.
Speaking of sick, something's making Nicole sick and sneezy. Achoo! Yuck! Zach makes so much mess. Achoo! It's dusty in here too. I don't know how he lives like this. I'm gonna make an airborne dust collector and show Zach how filthy he is. I've cut out a tag shape from a sheet of card. Poke a hole in the top and stick some tape across the rectangular gap. You end up with a nice sticky surface like this. Attach a piece of string and the air junk detector is ready to hang out. Let's see how dirty the air is outside. I've made another one to stick near filthy old Zach. And let's test the air in the kitchen too. I left my dust collectors hanging for a whole day. Let's see what they can tell us. Outside here, we've definitely caught some dust particles. Looks like tiny specks of dirt. And inside Zach's dusty dungeon, yuck! This dust collector is filthy. And it's not just specks of dirt on this one. Now let's check the kitchen. Not too bad. A bit of dust, but not as bad as next to Zach. At least the kitchen is clean.
Even in a clean house, there are always dust particles floating in the air. Dust is mainly made up of disintegrated fabric fibres, plant pollen, and tiny flakes of human skin. Wherever there is dust, microscopic dust mites can be found. They eat human skin flakes and also cause allergic reactions in many people.
Well, I think I found the dustiest place in the house. Zach is definitely a dust mite's dream.
Kimberly and I are looking for wildlife in the forest. We want to take some pictures of animals for a photographic exhibition. Here, wild animals. We won't hurt you. Uh-oh. There's something wrong with my bike. I think it's the front tire. Yep, completely flat. And I forgot to bring the bike pump. But that's nothing an intrepid wildlife photographer can't handle. Hey, no pictures please, Kim. This is serious. I'll cut a length out of this spare inner tube. This is going to make an emergency tire pump. Have you got a spare film canister, Kimberly? Perfect. Hold the inner tube and I'll squish it into this end. Make sure the solid end is on the outside. Now you put another one in that end. That's good. 2 film canisters with a rubber hose between them. If I make a hole in this end with scissors, it puffs air when you squeeze the rubber hose. Let's tape up the joints to make it stronger. Take a picture of this wild animal. The hose fitting screws into the bottom canister like this. And I'll make a hole in the side of the top canister. Now when I pump, air is drawn into the hole and blown out of the tube. Clever, huh? Now for the big test. A few pumps like this. And yes, it's inflating.
Just like a real bicycle pump, Fraser's clever emergency pump works by compressing air inside and forcing it into the tyre. Air is drawn in at the hole in the canister. Fraser can stop the air from escaping and build up air pressure by covering the hole. When the air pressure is greater inside the pump than in the tyre, air will move into the tyre.
Well, we didn't get around to photographing any wild animals. But who needs them when you can photograph a brilliant inventor?
Quite right, Fraser. You know, this show is full of brilliant inventors. Zach's one of them too. He's invented a wind-powered bird scarer.
My windmill is spinning like crazy in the wind. But those annoying tomato-eating birds aren't being scared away. Hey, good idea, Lara. They won't like the sound of those bells ringing. I'll attach them to the shaft of the windmill. Thank you. A bit of trusty tape. Now the wind spins the blades, and that makes the bells ring. You're smarter than you look, Lara. Let's see how the birds are taking it. They are out of here. See ya, suckers. Gimme 5.
Nice work, Birdbusters.
Zach's windmill is harnessing the power of the wind passing over it. The angle of the blades creates high air pressure in front and low air pressure behind the blades. The high air pressure pushes the blades into the low air pressure space and so keeps the windmill turning. As the blades spin, the dial spins, which in turn rings the bells. Even hungry birds are naturally cautious about coming near moving, noisy objects.
With our windmill keeping the birds away from the veggie patch, Lara and I are free to ride on this wild windmill. Yeehaw!
Swinging around on the washing line, now that's my idea of fun in the garden.
But we can go have a swing right now because we've come to the end of another show.
See you next time. Coming up, build a hot air balloon and send it soaring into the sky.
Learn the salty secret to preserving food.
Make your own mighty electric motor.
And find out why this ping pong ball is floating in midair.
I think I know how that's done, Dana. Watch this. Maybe not.
We'll find out how it's really done in just a moment. But first, Carrie-Anne's about to have a high-flying idea too.
Rebecca and I need to send an urgent message to Secret Agent Kim. She's trapped in enemy territory, patrolled by vicious guard dogs. How are we going to get it to her? Hey Kim, we have a message for you. Rebecca thinks we could fold it into a paper plane. Nah, it'll never fly. You're so full of hot air, Rebecca. Hey, that's it. Using an age-old spy trick, we'll float our message over, attached to a tissue paper hot air balloon. Zach and I are planning a camping trip in the wilderness. Well, my back garden, actually. We have all our equipment ready to go. Now we just need to pack some food supplies. But there's no fridge to keep anything cold in the wilderness. But Zach says he knows how to preserve food, so it doesn't need to be kept cold. He's certainly not much of a cook, so I'm a bit worried about his recipe. Fish? Ew! How are we gotta keep those fresh in the wilderness. They'll stink and we'll starve. An oven tray with a layer of salt. In go a whole lot of the tiny fishies. Maybe he's gonna cook them. But he's not gonna put them in the oven. He's covering them up with more salt instead. Now we have to leave them there for a few hours. That's one of Mum's big preserving jars. Salt in the bottom. In go a few fish. Now more salt. More fish. And more salt. Once the whole jar is full, he tops it right up with salt and closes the lid up tight. I sure hope my fishy dinner is tasty.
Salt draws most of the water out of the cells of the fish. The bacteria that cause foods to go bad need moisture to survive. In a properly salted fish, the bacteria die and the fish stays safe to eat for up to a year.
Well, it's been a hard day's hiking in the wilderness, and I am starving. Zach, my dinner if you please. Ew! Well, they aren't rotten, but they are a bit salty for me. Good thing I brought my own emergency supplies.
A strawberry donut is better than a salty old fish. That's what I call being prepared.
Let's go see how Kerry Ann's getting on as she prepares to send Kimberly a secret message.
Our mission, and we've chosen to accept it, is to make a hot air balloon. This tissue paper will be perfect. First, we make a template for the balloon's panels out of brown paper. I'll draw a big leaf shape. Cut the shape out. Unfold it. And we have a balloon panel template. Place it on top of the tissue paper. Pin it down. And start cutting. Unpin the template and ta-da! Lots of green and yellow balloon panels. Next, we're going to glue them together. Lay one on top of the other. Make sure you can see the edge of the one underneath. Place glue along the top piece. And stick them together. Now for the next layer. This time, glue the opposite edge down. Keep going until all 8 panels are glued. Next, we'll fold the already glued middle panels out of the way, so we can glue the first and last panels together. Secret agent work is a sticky business. Okay, now to check there's no holes in our balloon. We'll need to close this one up. Okay, cut out a circle for the top of the balloon and glue it on. Excellent! Our secret message will be floating over to Kim in no time.
Dad still hasn't fixed the motor in our DVD player. I'll show him who the real handyman around here is. I'll build my own electric motor. Now, the first thing I need to do is make a coil of wire. It's copper wire with a plastic coating. I'll wrap the wire around this pipe. Make a nice tight coil, then slide it off. Wrap the 2 ends around the coil to hold it together. Leave some wire sticking out on each side, like this. I'm scraping the plastic coating off one side of the wire. Make sure half the coating stays intact. I only need to do this on one of the poking out ends. The other end gets its coating removed completely. Time to make a power supply. I straightened out 2 paper clips. Now I'm attaching one to each end of a big battery. I end up with 2 metal terminals like this. I'll tape my battery to a plastic stand and get a strong magnet ready to go. It's time to get my motor running. I put the coil into the terminals and give it a little push start. When I hold the magnet here, the coil keeps spinning and spinning. You have to admit, this is way cool.
When an electrical current flows from the battery through the wire, it turns the coil into an electromagnet. The magnet in Jordan's hand and the magnetic coil repel each other, so the coil is pushed away. Now here's the clever bit. The half-covered part of the wire interrupts the electrical current in the coil and effectively switches off the electromagnet for a split second. The coil continues to spin with the momentum it has after being pushed away. Each time the wire makes contact, the coil gets another quick shove, which keeps Jordan's motor turning at top speed.
I think Dad will be impressed with my electric motor, but he'll be really impressed if I can install it into the DVD player.
I hope he knows what he's doing. Jordan is quite a talented inventor, isn't he, Dana?
He sure is. But then everyone has a special talent. Just ask Zach.
Mum says everyone has a special talent. Ashley's is obviously gymnastics. Wonder what mine is. Maybe it's juggling. Here goes. Whoops. This is harder than it looks. Not just any old clown can juggle, you know. The problem with these balls is that they come down so quickly. Juggling would be much easier with a ball that floats in midair. And I know how to make one. Okay, Mum. Point your hairdryer at the sky like this and set it to cool air. Don't take your eyes off this magic ping pong ball. Power on, Mum. I carefully place it in the airflow and yes! The ball is staying right there. How cool is that? Try tipping the hairdryer over, Mum. See if the ball can handle angled airflow. It does! Brilliant!
The fast-moving stream of air flowing out of the hairdryer has enough force to lift the ping pong ball. The ball becomes trapped between this low-pressure airflow and the surrounding higher-pressure air in the atmosphere.
I think I've found my special talent. Who needs juggling when you can do radical gravity-defying ball tricks? La 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 la. La 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 la.
Ah, that's better. Nothing beats a nice hot shower. Time to floss my teeth.
Hey, I just wiped the mirror clean and it's fogged again already. How can I stop the fog? What if I coat it in something? Like this hair gel. It's nice and slimy. But it makes the mirror blurry. That's no good. Maybe toothpaste will keep the mirror shiny. It works for my teeth. Oh, nope. That's just a sticky mess. What now? Soap. A bit of a rub, like this. And yes, I can see myself much more clearly in the soapy part.
The fog on Jade's mirror is made up of millions of tiny water droplets, held in a rounded shape by surface tension. If you break that surface tension with a surfactant chemical like soap, the droplets can no longer hold their rounded shape and they spread out into a thin film. Instead of seeing a fog of tiny water droplets, you get a transparent film of water.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the cleverest of them all?
I find blowing a hairdryer over the mirror dries up the fog pretty fast.
Carrie Ann has found another use for a hairdryer. She's using it to fill her hot air balloon.
Come on, Mum. Hold the hairdryer under there. Our balloon is filling with hot, hot air. Earlier, we glued a wire circle into the bottom to help keep its shape. And we stuck the top secret message inside. Now the air inside's nice and hot. So we're ready for launch. Wow! It's lifting! Up, up and away! It's cleared the fence! Look at it go! Our secret message is on its way!
Hot air is lighter than cooler air because it's less dense. That means the atoms that make up the air are spread further apart. An enclosed pocket of hot air, like Carrie Ann's beautiful balloon, will naturally float upwards through cooler air. As the air inside begins to cool off, it can no longer support the weight of the tissue paper and string the balloon is made from. The secret to keeping a hot air balloon flying is to make sure the air inside stays nice and hot.
Our balloon has landed. Read the secret message, Kim. Oh no! Can't she understand the code? Boy, talk about hot air. It's a wonder she doesn't lift off.
Well, I don't know about Kimberly, but it is time for us to lift off.
Why? Are we full of hot air too?
No, silly, we've come to the end of another show.
See you next time.
Coming up, hear your friend's secrets with a super spy listening device.
Raise the Jolly Roger on a hydraulic flagpole.
How to avoid a deep freeze disaster.
And learn to bend a soccer ball like David Beckham.
Oh, you know, I'm pretty handy with a soccer ball, Dana. Check out my special kicking skills. What?
Why don't you watch the story before you get all carried away, Taryn? But first, let's hit the high seas with Daniel and his pirate friends.
Arr! We're fearsome pirates, terrorizing the high seas. Hey, you sailor, raise the colours! It means flying the flag, Ashley. Ta! Oh dear, we need a flagpole. That piece of wood would be perfect for a flagpole. Permission to go ashore, sailor. Get me that there wood. Now attach the Jolly Roger to our new flagpole. Go on, raise it up high. Good. Hey, that landlubber's garden hose is giving me a wicked idea. Time to go ashore again on a hose stealing raid. Why have a plane on flagpole? Women can use water pressure to raise the Jolly Roger.
We're having a party tonight. Fraser and I are in charge of the decorations. But our string of fairy lights has blown a bulb. And Fraser looks like he's ready to blow a fuse. I think I better show him how a light bulb lights up. Come on, party animal. For Fraser's light bulb lesson, I need a battery and some globes. From one side of the battery, I clip a wire to one side of the light bulb. Then I get another wire and clip it from the other battery terminal to the other side of the globe. And ta-da! It's nice and bright. But that's half the problem. Sometimes these sort of bulbs get so hot, the filament inside breaks. So, instead of light bulbs, we're going to use a whole stack of these little babies. They're not like bulbs, but light-emitting diodes, LEDs. All we have to do is join them up in a circuit. Attach to the battery and we see the light. Now we make a whole string of them. There we go, Fraze. Only a few hundred to go.
Unlike light bulbs, LEDs don't have a filament that will burn out, and they don't get especially hot. They light up as electrons move across what's called semiconductor material. The chemicals used to make the LED semiconductor determine what colour the light will be.
How awesome does this look? Well done, Bride Spark. This is going to be one brilliant party.
That's going to be a fun party. Good decorations really help to set the mood.
Daniel's busy building something to raise a decoration of the pirate kind. Arr!
My motley crew and I are about to make a water-powered flagpole. Let's think. We've got our wooden flagpole. And that long piece of plastic pipe will do nicely. Listen up, buccaneers. We need a shore raid. You get that plastic pipe, and you get the sprinkler and the hose. Sharpish now. Right, the plastic pipe will be our shaft. We'll stick the wooden flagpole inside the pipe. Now this bubble bottle will make a perfect piston. We'll tape the sprinkler to the bottom of the pipe, and the water will push it up. All right, we need a flagpole-sized hole in here. You, sailor, go and ask the landlubber to do that. And you, sailor, grab me that tape and scissors. We're gonna connect the sprinkler. Make it tight so water won't leak out. Great, our piston is ready. Up here, sailor. We push the flagpole into this hole. Here, sailor, take the flagpole and the shaft and place it by the mast. Good. Now we slide the flagpole down into the shaft. This flag will be flying in no time.
Hula hooping is great fun and good exercise, but keeping the hoop spinning is thirsty work. Better keep those liquids up. A nice cold drink is what I need. Nothing here in the fridge. I didn't plan this very well. Better pop a bottle in the freezer. It'll cool down nice and quick. Into the deep freezer goes. At last, it's time for a cold drink. Oh no! The bottle's exploded in the freezer. Yuck! Bursting bottle coming through. Better clean up that sticky mess. I don't want this happening again. I wonder what made the lid pop off like that. Time for a little frozen experiment. I'll make myself half a glass of cordial, just like the stuff in the bottle. Now I mark a line at the level of the drink. That goes into the freezer to turn into ice. Look at this! Now that it's an ice block, the frozen drink level is much higher than the line.
As water freezes, it expands by up to 10% of its volume. Lyra's drink bottle was almost full when it went into the freezer, so it couldn't contain the increased size of the drink as it expanded. If Lyra's drink bottle had been made of glass, it could have been smashed by the expanding liquid.
I think I'll stick with ice cubes from now on. I don't want another deep freeze disaster.
I think Lara learned her lesson the messy way that time.
Ashley's about to learn a lesson too, a lesson in long-distance listening.
Those sneaky boys are up to something. I wonder what they're talking about up there. Why don't I do a little eavesdropping? Careful, careful. I don't want them to notice me. Now I'll just put this microphone down here. Then I can hide behind the bushes and listen in. I wish they'd speak up a bit. The volume's right up. This is no good. I need to boost my listening power. And here's my cunning plan. I'll cover the inside of this golf umbrella with foil. Stick it all down with tape. There. It's like a silver satellite dish. Back out in the garden, I just need to retrieve my microphone. Now I just fix it to the umbrella handle like this. Pretty soon I'll be able to hear every word those boys are saying. Okay, my sound receiving dish goes down here, and I can go back to my hiding spot.
Good thing Ashley's not here.
Now I can hear them talking.
Yeah, she always beats us at cards.
Yep, the sound is coming through loud and clear.
Yes! There it is.
Sound travels through the air in waves that spread out and lose intensity as they get further away from their source. Ashley's foil-lined umbrella reflected sound waves from a large area, concentrating them towards the microphone. Giant satellite dishes work in the same way. They concentrate radio waves travelling from outer space into a single point to make the signal stronger.
Check that out!
Oh no! The boys guys have seen me! Oh, well, I suppose my silver dish is pretty hard to miss. Hi, guys, what's up? I guess I'm not much of a spy, so it's lucky I'm good at cards.
The football season is about to kick off for the air, so it's time to get a little practice in. You be the goalie, Sarah. Now watch me kick this one right past her. No! Oh, hit the post. Ah, good save. I won't get into the team at this rate. What will my hero David Beckham do? Hey, that's it. A bent kick. I need to bend it like Beckham. If I kick the ball on one side, it will curve through the air. The ball is harder for Sarah to stop when it bends like this. Hey, now I'm getting somewhere. You beauty! He shoots! He scores!
When David kicks the football on one side, he sets it spinning as it flies through the air. Air passing the ball travels faster on the side that is moving in the same direction as the airflow. This reduces the air pressure on that side of the ball. The ball moves towards the lower air pressure space, and so it continues to bend in the direction it's spinning.
I can bend it this way. I can bend it that way. I'm unstoppable now.
So that's how it's done. A bit of spin on the ball and it curves through the air. Watch me bend it like Taryn.
How did I know that would happen? You go clean up, Taryn. We'll check out how Daniel's hydraulic flagpole turned out.
Okay, our flagpole raiser is ready for its sea trial. Lash it to the mast, sailors. Come on, quicken it up. Ahoy down there. You get on tap duties. Attach the hose to the sprinkler and wait for my command. Raise the colors. Here it comes. Brilliant! The flag's going up. Now that will strike fear into the heart of any seagoing vessel. Excellent work, me mateys.
Captain Daniel has invented a hydraulic flag-raising system. Hydraulics use a liquid under pressure to transfer a force from one location to another. In this case, the water enters the bottom of the pipe from the hose and meets the bottle. Because the water cannot get past the bottle, and because water cannot be squashed into the pipe, the water pressure force from the hose acts on the bottle and moves it up the pipe.
Now where's a treasure ship we can plunder? Oops. There's that shifty landlubber again. How do we get the flag down quick? Sailor Ashley has a plan. Good thinking, Sailor. Now we can sneak on by that landlubber and get back to our plundering. Arr.
The only thing wrong with that pirate story was that no one had to walk the plank.
Well, it's time for us to walk the plank now, Taryn, because we've come to the end of the show.
See you next time.